Russian airfields are another target that the defense forces of Ukraine regularly strike, and this concerns not only the destruction of Russian aviation. This was stated by military expert, founder of the reactive mail organization Pavel Nerozny on air on Radio NV. We can recall the strikes on oil depots when the fuel for strategic bombers burns. Why is this done? During the SBU operation, a large number of Tu-95 aircraft were destroyed, but they still had a large number of Tu-160 aircraft. If I am not mistaken, during the entire operation only one Tu-160 was damaged, not even destroyed, Nerozny said. He also noted that Russian Tu-160 aircraft require specific fuel, high-viscosity kerosene, which the defense forces destroyed during one of the latest strikes on Russia because the Tu-160 rises to a great height and covers a great distance, and this fuel burned successfully at the oil depot and not in the plane's engines. And that is why the enemy is launching cruise missiles in a rather limited manner. It is already limited to sea-launched caliber missiles, and they have a rather difficult time with air-launched missiles, Nerozny added. Recall Russian aerospace forces have redeployed Tu-160 strategic bombers from Engels-2 air base located just 500 kilometers behind the Ukrainian front lines to one of its easternmost facilities. Just 500 kilometers from the U.S. state of Alaska. At least two of the aircraft were seen at Anada Air Base, located over 6,600 kilometers from Ukraine, with the bombers being equipped with 5,000 kilometers range Kh-101-102 cruise missiles. However, they will still be able to take part in precision strikes on targets on Ukrainian territory, as well as across Europe, with the aircraft's own ranges by many estimates being the longest of any combat jets in the world. The decision to redeploy the bombers follows sustained Ukrainian attacks on their primary operational facility, Engels-2 Air Base, including a successful strike on June 6, which resulted in a major fire. This attack occurred 5 days after coordinated drone operations using fleets of AI-driven aircraft infiltrated deep into Russia's struck bomber bases across the country, causing serious losses among the Tu-95MS and Tu-22M3 bomber fleets. It remains uncertain what portion of the Tu-160 fleet was redeployed to Anadyr Air Base, or the extent to which Ukrainian attacks on facilities further influenced the decision. Bombers frequently deploy to bases across Russia for exercises and shows of force in peacetime, although the timing of the latest deployment has fueled speculation that it may at least partly be a response to ensure the aircraft's security. Engels-2 Air Base has been successfully targeted multiple times by Ukrainian forces, albeit never with a confirmed kill against bombers based there. On January 8, a Ukrainian long-range drone strike successfully targeted the Kombinat Crystal fuel depot near the facility, with the attack reported to have destroyed reserves of T-8V high-density specialized aviation fuel used by the Tu-160 fleet. Subsequently, on March 20, a drone attack caused a major explosion at the facility. These strikes were far from unprecedented, with 3 attacks on Engels-2 having been launched in December 2022 alone. The Tu-160 is by far the highest-value combat aircraft fielded by the Russian armed forces and has from 2015 received considerable investment from the Defense Ministry to resume production. A powerful explosion was recorded in Tehran in an area where Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei's bunker is believed to be located, Al Jazeera reported, citing local residents. According to local residents, loud explosions were heard in the area. No official statement has been made yet about the details and consequences of the incident. It should be noted that the area in question was targeted previously, on June 18. Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei was moved to an underground bunker in Lavazan in northeastern Tehran hours after Israel began its attacks on Tehran early Friday, 2 informed sources inside Iran told Iran International. All members of Khamenei's family, including his son Mujtaba, are with him, the sources said. According to the sources, during the previous operations against Israel, True Promise 1 and True Promise 2, the Supreme Leader's family was also taken to the bunker. At that time, Mujtaba was by his side, but 2 of his sons, Masood and Mustafa, were not with him. Recently, Israel targeted the city of Mashhad, located 2,300 kilometers from the Jewish state, for the first time. A diplomatic source in the Middle East told Iran International that the Israeli airstrike on Mashhad was a warning to Iran's Supreme Leader that he is not safe anywhere in the country. The diplomatic source added that Israel could have eliminated Khamenei on the first night of the operation, but the Israeli government chose to keep him alive to give him a final chance to decide on completely dismantling the Islamic Republic's uranium enrichment program. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has ordered increased strikes on strategic targets in Iran following an Iranian attack on an Israeli hospital. Iran fired about 30 ballistic missiles early Thursday, directly hitting southern Israel's main hospital, Soroka Medical Center, and 2 more strikes in the central cities of Holon and Ramat Gan, wounding dozens. A fire erupted and cars were set ablaze following an Iranian attack in southern Israel on Friday. According to Associated Press earlier on Friday, the Israeli army said that sirens sounded in several areas across Israel following the identification of missiles launched from Iran towards Israel. The emergency services did not report any casualties but released video showing cars on fire and a big cloud of smoke rising near some buildings. The latest attack came a day after an Iranian missiles hit a major hospital in Beersheba, southern Israel, and struck residential buildings in Tel Aviv on Thursday, wounding 240 people and causing extensive damage. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz blamed Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and said the military has been instructed and knows that in order to achieve all of its goals, this man absolutely should not continue to exist. Thanks so much for tuning in to PulsePoint Media. If you found this update useful, hit subscribe and tap that bell so you never miss a breaking story. Got thoughts or questions? Drop them in the comments below. I read every comment. See you in the next briefing. Stay informed and stay ahead.